Hey guys, Mike here from M&J Music Creations. Here's a quick tutorial on using sends with ProTools. Using sends can be an efficient way of applying effects to multiple tracks, thus taking some load off of your computer. This might help to avoid pops, clicks, and dropouts, or simply saving more resources to use with other effects or processing. Sends can also be used for routing, but this example will focus mainly on applying effects. In this song, I've hidden most of the tracks and will just focus on our two guitars and piano tracks. First, I'll insert a stereo aux track by pressing Ctrl-Shift-N. Learning hotkeys will make you much more efficient and give you more time for things like making music, mixing, or just daydreaming, instead of clicking drop-down menus in Pro Tools. This aux track is going to be used to place our send effect. In this example, we're going to use reverb. Let's name our aux track Reverb. As with any other track or aux input, we need to pick our inputs and outputs. For our input, we're going to pick an empty bus, and don't worry, we're going to name it in a second. This means whatever track we send to that bus will be routed to the input of our new aux reverb track. Then set the output of the reverb track to our 2-bus. I route everything to a 2-bus before hitting the master, but if you have it set to a master, just route it there. Makes no difference for what we're talking about. Now, if we right-click on our aux input, we can rename the bus. Let's name it Reverb. We definitely want to name the bus. It saves us confusion later on, especially on big mixes with lots of buses and sends. Now let's insert a reverb in our aux send. I'll use Deverb as we all have it, but you can use whatever reverb you want. A key to using reverb as a send is setting the mix to 100% wet. As you'll see in a minute, we want to control the reverb level on each track individually. We will now insert the send on our tracks. By left-clicking in the send area of our guitar track, we will pick the appropriate bus. We see our reverb bus that we named, and we'll point it there. We now have a fader for our send level. This will control the wetness. We can set the desired level and do the same with our other guitar track. As you can see, what we've accomplished is using one reverb for 2 different tracks. And since we did it with a send, we can control the reverb level to each track individually. Now, taking one step further, many times we want the same reverb on many instruments or vocals, so they all sound like they're coming from the same place. But we may want some instruments or vocals more wet than others, placing them either closer or further in the mix. A send allows us to do this with one reverb as opposed to cloning the same reverb on all of our tracks. We'll use the same technique and apply it to our piano. As you see, we now have 3 tracks assigned to this one reverb, with each track's wetness controlled individually. This technique can be applied to all sorts of effects, including delays, distortion, or saturations, and other techniques like parallel compression. As stated in the beginning, it can also be used for routing when you need alternate mixes of certain tracks, but that's a separate tutorial. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this clarified on how and why you want to use sends in your mixes.